Energy is everything. It's the driving force behind progress. When your energy levels are high, you accomplish things you wouldn't even attempt if your energy were low. You could be the smartest person in the world with the best intentions, but without energy, you won't follow through. The challenge. For the past few years, we've lived through a time where people around the world were confined to their homes, told to keep their distance, and subjected to constant fear despite a lack of scientific backing for many of these restrictions. If you're here, you likely didn't buy into all of it, but even so, I'd bet that your energy has declined since 2019 without you even realizing it. It's like that classic metaphor of the frog in boiling water. If you drop it into hot water, it jumps out immediately, but if you heat the water gradually, it doesn't notice and eventually boils to death. That's what's happened to our energy over time. It may seem like a subtle shift, but the impact is significant. Why energy matters? Consider this. Who would you rather work with? Someone who panics in the face of a big problem, unsure of what to do, or someone who steps up with confidence, takes action, and gets things done? That certainty and drive come from energy. When your energy is depleted, even if you're highly capable, that strength won't show up when you need it most. The role of energy in relationships. Let's apply this to relationships. Imagine two people who are completely in love, absolutely devoted to each other. They both take care of their health, push themselves, and operate at peak energy levels. What kind of relationship do they have? Dull? Lifeless? Of course not. It's dynamic, exciting, and full of passion. Now, take those same two people, still deeply in love, but allow life to wear them down. They no longer have that spark. Their energy has dropped. They wake up feeling just okay and respond to each other with, "Not bad. How about you?" rather than enthusiasm. Will their relationship remain just as extraordinary? No. At best, it will be fine, but fine isn't magnificent. The downward spiral, when people let exhaustion take over, when stress becomes their constant conversation, and when they focus only on what's wrong in life, their energy keeps sinking. There's always something to stress about if you look for it, just as there's always something to appreciate if you choose to see it. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about being smart and aware. Now, think about your own energy. Have you unknowingly let it decline? And more importantly, what will you do to bring it back? They're constantly overwhelmed, running from one obligation to another. Whether it's taking the kids to soccer, handling work pressures, or managing daily responsibilities, exhaustion becomes their norm. Conversations revolve around stress, frustration, and how much they have to do. Now, what happens to their connection? Even though they still love each other, the excitement fades. The energy that once fueled their passion is no longer there. Instead of engaging deeply, they're just getting through the days. They aren't fully present for each other. And that's the real issue. Energy isn't just about feeling awake. It dictates the quality of your relationships, your success, and your ability to handle challenges. Without it, even the strongest bonds weaken. So ask yourself, where is your energy right now? Are you operating at your highest level, or have you unknowingly settled into a lower state without realizing the cost? Because here's the truth, getting your energy back isn't just about motivation. It's about building habits that support vitality. It's about shifting focus, taking action, and refusing to let life drain you. That's the difference between simply existing and truly thriving. Soccer, what you might call football. And dance classes, along with the usual financial struggles of running a business, can take a toll. On top of that, when a loved one is unwell, life can feel overwhelming. Over time, both partners in a relationship can become drained, running on low energy. Now, even if they deeply love each other, will their relationship thrive under these conditions? But the answer is no, it won't even be good. The point here is simple. Our energy is everything. But here's the challenge, one that I'm sure you've experienced. How many of you have had days where you wake up and your mind is ready to take on the world, but your body refuses to get out of bed? Or mornings when you just don't feel like interacting with people, even though doing so is crucial for your career, business, family, and personal growth. And let's be honest, how often do we see people putting on a front? How are you? I'm good. You good? Yeah, we're all good. We all recognize when that's not real. In fact, there's so much pretense in our world that even so-called reality TV is often staged. People are craving authenticity. So what can you do when you're exhausted but need to boost your energy? The answer depends on where you believe energy comes from. Many assume it comes from food. Think back to a big holiday meal. You probably intended to eat healthy, plenty of vegetables, balanced portions, but what actually happens? You overeat. Now, after indulging in that feast, do you feel ready to run outside and play football? Probably not. Most people just want to collapse on the couch and watch TV because their energy crashes. Why does this happen? Because food is not the ultimate source of energy. It plays a role, but it's not the main source. Yes, nutrition is vital, but if food were the key to energy, why do most people feel sluggish after eating? In my seminars, I teach that the way most people consume food actually depletes their energy. Poor digestion is one of the most energy-draining processes in the body. That's why after a big meal, you don't feel like working, playing with your kids, or even being intimate. You just want a break. Now let me ask you something. Fasting for a day is tough at first, right? It feels physically challenging, but much of that struggle is mental. However, after 3 days without food, does your energy drop or increase? Surprisingly, it increases. How is that possible? Because food isn't the sole source of energy. So if it's not food, then what is? Sleep? Sure, sleep is crucial, but how many of you have had a full 8 hours of rest and still felt exhausted? Conversely, have you ever had a day where you were completely drained, but then suddenly something reignited your energy? So if sleep isn't the ultimate source of energy, what is? Think about a time when you were completely drained, yet something sparked a surge of energy in you. Maybe it was an exciting opportunity, an urgent challenge, or even an inspiring conversation. Suddenly, you weren't tired anymore. This proves that energy isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, and physiological. When you're deeply engaged, passionate, or driven by a compelling reason, you tap into a different kind of energy. That's why despite exhaustion, you can push through when something truly matters to you. Now, if you could access that kind of energy on demand, wouldn't that change everything? Imagine being able to shift from fatigue to focus, from sluggishness to drive, whenever you need it. The key lies in learning how to generate energy rather than just consuming it. Most people rely on external factors, food, rest, caffeine, to fuel them. But real lasting energy comes from movement, breath, mindset, and purpose. Have you ever noticed that when you force yourself to get up and move, even when you're tired, your energy starts to rise? Motion creates emotion. The way you use your body directly impacts your state of mind. Breathing is another powerful tool. The way you inhale and exhale can either drain you or recharge you. Shallow, stressed breathing signals your body to conserve energy, making you feel sluggish. Deep, intentional breaths do the opposite. They oxygenate your cells, wake up your system, and increase clarity. And then there's focus. Where you direct your thoughts determines your energy levels. If your mind fixates on exhaustion, you'll feel more tired. But if you shift your attention to something exciting, challenging, or meaningful, your energy follows. That's why passionate people often seem unstoppable. They're fueled by a purpose greater than themselves. So if you're running low on energy, ask yourself, how am I moving? How am I breathing? Where is my focus? Because when you master these elements, you don't just manage energy, you create it. You may have had plenty of sleep, but suddenly, boom, something exciting happens, and you find yourself energized all day. Most people don't fully understand the meaning of competition. The word originates from Latin, and whether translated into German or another language, its root meaning is to conspire together. If I compete with you, I'm essentially working with you to improve both of us. If we play a game and I go easy on you, you won't improve. If you take it easy on me, I won't get better either. The whole point of competition is to challenge one another to grow. It's a form of collaboration. Now let's play a little game. If you want to understand the real source of energy, it comes from the mind. However, it's not just mental, it's also a habit. The problem is, many of us develop habits without even realizing it. The good news is that you can train yourself to switch into an energized state even when you feel exhausted. The key? Movement. Movement generates emotional shifts, it produces energy. Think about kids. Ever seen one walk into a room slouched, only to suddenly spring to life and rush out? That's movement creating a shift in energy. On the other hand, older individuals tend to move less, and a lack of movement is often associated with declining vitality. Movement isn't just about physical action. It also involves our voice and facial expressions. The way we use our face influences our energy. And our voice plays a role too. When you laugh, for example, it activates internal movements that you don't normally engage in. This is why laughter feels so good. The same applies to singing. It stimulates energy within. You don't have to perform in front of anyone, but when you allow your body and mind to be expressive, you unlock a state of flow that feels incredible. Once your energy is flowing, everything changes. You feel more engaged, more alive, but the challenge is knowing how to tap into that state at will. One way to do this is by being intentional with how you move. If you sit still for too long, your body starts to slow down. But the moment you change your posture, take a deep breath, or make a sudden motion, your energy shifts instantly. That's because motion and emotion are directly linked. How you move influences how you feel. Think about the last time you felt sluggish. Did you notice your shoulders dropping, your breathing becoming shallow? Now compare that to a moment when you were excited. Your body responded differently. Your gestures were bigger, your tone more expressive. This isn't a coincidence. Your physiology controls your state of mind. This is why athletes, performers, and high achievers use movement to prime themselves before a big moment. They don't just wait to feel ready, they make themselves ready. They jump, stretch, shake it out, whatever it takes to activate their energy. And here's the best part. You don't need a long routine to do this. A simple shift in posture, a quick burst of movement, or even an intentional deep breath can create an immediate impact. When you learn to control your energy on demand, you no longer have to rely on external factors to feel motivated. You become the source of your own power. And that's a game changer.